I've seen a lot of very ironic things in my life, but this thing takes the cake as being pretty high on the list. On the topic of cake, it was recently Sunny Hostin's birthday, and Sunny is a host on the show The View, which, if I'm being honest, I've never seen the show. Anyways, on the show, for her birthday, she got food from one of her favorite restaurants.
This is food from my favorite Puerto Rican restaurant in New York.
She got food like plantains, cheese and corn fritters, shrimp-filled pastries that she mentioned can be filled with beef.
That one's filled with shrimp. It can also be filled with beef, yellow rice. And then we also have crab meat, stewed crab meat.
And various flan desserts. But none of that food matters to Sunny. What she really wanted to highlight was something that was very near and dear to her heart.
That's so good. What I really want to highlight is something near and dear to me.
And that is that her 8 chickens are currently being taken care of by an animal sanctuary. This sanctuary is the Safe Haven Farm Sanctuary. And she actually brought one of the owners on the show to talk about their mission as an animal sanctuary. One of the owners of the sanctuary, who seems like a very nice person and does a very important job, starts speaking about the suffering of animals in the animal agriculture industry.
About 20 years ago, my wife Ellen and I started to learn about the suffering of animals. It's very widespread.
He mentions milk, eggs, and meat as being products of this.
These are the farms that produce most of the milk, eggs, and meat that the country consumes.
The sanctuary was created to protect animals that had been abused and to teach the public about compassion towards animals. Now, this is where the irony comes in. So the entire time that he is talking about the cruelty and suffering that comes from the animal agriculture industry, the hosts of The View are eating products from the animal agriculture industry. Did nobody make the connection here? 1 minute ago, you were talking about all the delicious animal products that you're eating, and now you have a guy on here who's talking about all the animal suffering that it takes to make those animal products. One host actually says, "Aww," about the bad conditions of the animals while probably actually eating an animal.
We've been rescued from these bad conditions. And
y'all are supporting what this man right in front of you is advocating against. How did nobody think this through? Now, I will say, there is a possibility that someone, maybe Sunny herself, thought this through and said, we can't be eating animals while we're talking about protecting animals. That'd be wild, especially chickens.
Big old bird right there.
She is a queen, though. Look
She's the queen.
She can't be eating chicken while she's talking about a sanctuary taking care of her own chickens. Surely she thought that through. Now, she did mention beef as a possible filling for one of the pastries, but forgetting that, notice what type of meat they did get in all of their food.
That one's filled with shrimp, and then we also have crab meat, stewed crab meat.
If they had this foresight, they probably thought, no one really cares about ocean animals. As long as we're not eating pork or chicken or beef, this won't look too wild. They probably also didn't think that the owner of the sanctuary was going to bring up the suffering involved with dairy and eggs, so they probably thought they could get away with eating that during this segment too. That's all speculation though. I don't know if they made the connection beforehand or during or after all of this. Personally, I don't think they ever made the connection. And this is because the disassociation between animals and animal products is so deep. Thinking about this connection can make people uncomfortable, so the brain separates the two things. This is how you can say, "Aww," about animals while eating animals. Now, I want to mention that the owner of the sanctuary probably did realize the irony of the situation, but what was he going to do about it? I don't know. I don't blame him at all for this. I think it was actually probably really good that he was on the show, because hopefully people at home, hopefully someone got this and said, hold on, that's weird. And I want to thank the Crafty Lumberjacks for bringing the story to my attention on Threads. You should go check them out. Thank you everyone for watching, and please subscribe for more.